Welcome back, everybody, to Dr. Sellers Educate. We're happy that you're back as you continue on your journey towards CNE success, or if you're just tuning in to check out some of the updates that we have to share week to week and you're already certified, that's amazing too. Our mission here at Dr. Sellers Educate is simple. It is to support every nurse educator to get certified or to stay certified as a nurse educator through NLN organization. Part of our series has been focusing on the Hallmarks of Excellence that was published by NLN. If you're not familiar, we're going to go there together to take a look at the website. One other reminder and housekeeping tip, make sure as you're tuning in every week that you're taking notes, okay? So there is a snapshot worksheet that is available here in the description of this episode, so you can make sure that you're holding yourself accountable as you move forward on your journey. Another tip that you want to consider is just blocking out at least 1 hour of time, depending on where you are on your journey, but just blocking out some time to really reflect on the content that we're covering here together. What you see here on our channel is just a glimpse of what the full experience is like when you join us for our monthly boot camp. Okay, so that happens right now. It is every third Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern, and our website provides updates year over year. We may change it based on our stakeholder feedback, but for 2023, it is every third Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. Also, we provide monthly review sessions and periodic in-person sessions, and we're excited about the event that we're planning right now in North Carolina on June the 2nd. We'll be at the Grandover Resort in Greensboro, North Carolina. That's June 2nd, 2023. We're going to start at 9 a.m. And then we'll also be moving forward with an event in Charlotte, North Carolina on June the 9th, also starting at 9 a.m. If you have any questions about those in-person events, you can also check out those details right here that's listed in the descriptions. As we look at the content for today, I want to remind you all that you want to make sure that as you're going through the content and reflecting on perhaps information that was new for you, you want to go back and look at your primary resources. Okay, we're going to talk about how the content we review aligns with the competencies, but you want to go back and just spend some time digging deeper into the content. Now, if you're part of our review program already, then you know we go in depth into this content and we map it back to the actual resources that you have available, okay? So just remember that you have additional support to help you move forward, no matter where you are on your path towards success. Let's first take a look at the hallmarks of excellence. We focused on engaged students in our last episode. And in this episode, we're going to focus on what specifically do we mean, and really does NLN mean, about the diverse, well-prepared faculty? What are those characteristics that we should demonstrate to validate that our teaching practices and the learning experiences are aligned with this hallmark of excellence as what has been defined by NLN? And the specific concepts that we're going to look at today, you're going to make sure that you are aligning we are aligning our teaching strategies, our commitment to lifelong learning, that they are aligned with exactly what NLN expects them to be. So when we look at the diversity of our faculty member, we want to take a look at a practice question first, just to generate some thoughts and considerations related to this content. All right, so we have faculty members that are accountable for creating inclusive civil learning environments. That is our responsibility. That is a hallmark of excellence as we look at these specific core tenets that are associated with this specific hallmark of excellence. So which statement by the nurse educator best demonstrates the ability to meet diverse student learning needs? We have 4 statements here. If you want to pause and think about the question and look at your choices and then come back when you're ready. Now let's go ahead and transition into the content. First, these are some of the tenets that are associated with the diverse, well-prepared faculty characteristic of the hallmark of excellence. So first, it's expected that faculty are comprised of diverse individuals that have expertise in clinical practice, education, interprofessional collaboration, and research and scholarship. Second, faculty, we are expected to promote excellence, that we should create those civil inclusive learning experiences where students feel connected to the content and that we are creating a safe, productive learning experience for the student. That requires us to do quite a bit of preparation right before the actual class begins. We want to review the literature to ensure that the content that we are reviewing with our students, that it aligns with the current evidence. Sometimes our textbooks can be a little bit outdated, and hopefully when we do our textbook review every semester, we're ensuring that there is strong alignment between what our textbooks are stating is the current practice, what our content we're including in our actual lecture or content in our course assignments, and what's actually happening clinically. So we want to ensure there's alignment across all three of our resources and really make sure there's a strong connection to the student's clinical learning experience. And then third, making sure that we have, as faculty, that we have committed to lifelong learning. That's going to include involvement with our professional organizations, community organizations, as well as scholarly activity. Making sure that our goals for the academic year is also aligned with the expectations of our leaders within the School of Nursing or College of Nursing and within the university's mission and vision, right? So we want to ensure there is strong alignment across all factors or influences associated with our journey to create this diverse learning experience for our students, as well as our individual preparedness as a faculty member. This content that we're covering in this snapshot is mapped back to facilitation of learning, as well as learner socialization, scholarship, and change management. Okay, so it is actually across several different competencies as we look at closing the loop related to how we should engage in order to achieve this hallmark of excellence, to reach this high standard within the specific NLN hallmarks of excellence model. All right, so if you chose B, students sometimes struggle with the assignments and I'll review at the beginning of class every week, that is the correct answer. This is going to ensure that we as faculty, we demonstrate accountability to best prepare our students to meet the objectives and be successful. Now, if you chose the other three options, let's talk a little bit about the why, right? So what you want to make sure you're doing is as you review the content in your resources, specifically looking at Dr. Caputi's review book, because there are practice questions at the end of every chapter, or if you choose to purchase the SAE with NLN, both of those resources give you the correct answers as well as the incorrect answers, and you will be able to see the rationale. Okay, so we try to role model that same behavior here at Dr. Sellers Educate. We're not endorsed by NLN. Our mission is simply to align with the NLN standards. So let's talk about the why. So option A, the research shows that baby boomers struggle with technology, so we will submit all assignments on paper. Well, most of us would not be interested in making that adjustment, right? First and foremost, we have a lot of online courses. So how practical is that? And we know that, unfortunately, there continues to be quite a high rate of plagiarism, right? So we would not be able to submit papers that are typed and submitted via non-electronic format. That would not be easy to do. In order for us to really meet the diverse student learning needs, what we as educators want to do is make sure we meet our students where they are. That means requiring them to better understand how to use technology. And that's exactly what B is going to allow us to do, making sure that students understand what the assignment requirements are. We're engaging with them in a conversation to identify where their gaps are. It could be technology, or it could be simply not understanding all of the instructions associated with the assignment. When we look at C, again, that's really not resolving the issue and supporting the fact that there is a learning need that students have as it relates to active response systems. So we will want to talk to students through the utilization of that system and identify where the issues are and help them resolve them and remove it as a barrier. One of the other strategies we want to make sure that we're aware of as educators is that when there is a challenge with the technology or with whatever modality that we are assigning students to use, perhaps to complete an assignment. Could be something as simple as using an electronic charting system in the skills lab, because we know students need that type of practice. Well, if we as faculty don't have the training we need, it can create a barrier to learning, because students can become frustrated and really distracted to understand the actual clinical skill that we're trying to teach them, because they are anxious about using the technology. Okay, so that's something to consider. Again, we want to help support students' ability to learn how to use whatever teaching strategy we're integrating into the classroom experience. And by us doing that and committing to that, we will then remove a barrier. All right, and then we have D, debate. So that's great. The students are enjoying the debates, but D is really not the best answer to be able to demonstrate the ability to meet diverse student learning needs. All right, debates just happens to be one of my favorites. And some students really enjoy those, others not so much. So this is going to wrap up our snapshot for this episode. Make sure that you check out all of the great details in our description. Make sure you subscribe so you can be notified right away every single time there's a new episode, which usually happens every week. This has been Dr. Sellers Educate, and I hope you all have a great one. Bye-bye.